Hello fellers, JediMono8895 here to bring you my first Pokemon X and Y Showdown battle. And wow, it's been ages. For those of you who don't know me or my channel that well, I used to love Pokemon and played it competitively, and that's where most of my viewers came from for this channel. I decided recently I would try to upload some more Pokemon because I have a fair amount of free time this summer and I enjoy making the content. And I felt like Pokemon were my roots, so going back to something I enjoyed a long time ago, an old hobby of mine, it's rather fun. Now I'm going to be discussing the new generation the new generation and the new meta, and I'm also going to be discussing where I left off in 5th gen. I'll also be including my first narrated 6th gen battle, so this video will be rather lengthy. If you want to skip right to the team preview, then go to this time right here. And if you want to just go right to the battle, then go to this time right here. Anyways, without further ado, let's begin the video. Alrighty, let's get down to business, shall we? I'm going to start the video off where I left the competitive scene, which was around the beginning of 2013. More specifically, January 11th, 2013. That was my last Pokemon narrated battle. Something I spent almost 2 years perfecting. Admittedly though, I look back and just cringe at my old videos. I mean, look at this hair! What the fuck? And my voice was so goddamn annoying.
Hello, fellas. Hello, fellers. Hello, fellers. Hello, fellers. Hello, fellers. Hello, fellers. Hello, fellers. Hello, fellers.
We can discuss my early days of battling in another video. However, when it came to battling, OU, UU, and NU were my go-to tiers, even though some of the tiers were a mess. Ah, 5th gen overused. How no one missed you. You and your constant weather spam, inability to have checks and counters for blatantly overpowered pokes, and same old standard movesets and Pokemon. Don't get me wrong, sometimes playing standard can be fun, however the tier was very broken, despite having the most players constantly on the server. Other tiers like UU, RU, and NU were rather more balanced and occasionally having tier readjustments, with having some pokes move up and others move down. You would typically see more gimmicky teams in the lower tiers, but if you didn't, you would see people abusing the higher usage pokes, typically the more OP ones. Yes, asshole, I'm looking at you who brings full stall into an NU match. A big old middle finger to you, sir. Anyways, now looking more at the general meta of 5th gen. Pokemon Black and White were released on September 18th, 2010 in Japan. Hard to believe that was almost 4 years ago. And were then released to the rest of the world in early March of 2011. Since then, the games were spammed on Wi-Fi battles and on battle simulators to battle competitively. Much was anticipated for the release of Black 2 and White 2, which were both respectively put on shelves on the 23rd of June 2012 in Japan, and mid-October of 2012 for the rest of the world. You would expect new and exciting Pokemon and movesets. However, all we got were a few egg moves, a few new legendary forms, and freaking awesome animations like Outrage and Earthquake! Ultimately, the second versions of Black and White didn't offer too many things to 5th gen. They can compare to a map pack bonus content in an FPS shooter. What you would get is a lackluster map to play on and your pockets emptier, and thus, this resulted in a long drone of nothing new to the game for a whole other year. I was one of the people who found another game to play frequently and hopped off the bandwagon. Now let's fast forward to the day this video gets released. Pokemon X and Y were released worldwide on October 12, 2013. And with this new game introduced 70 new Pokemon, including a new type for the first time in nearly 10 years, as well as adding a new element to the game, Mega Evolutions, for certain Pokemon. My first impressions on the competitive scene were rather skeptical at first. Some of these Mega things are in lower tiers. Mega Charizard is the most used thing in Standard? What the fuck is that thing? However, most metagame aspects were relatively the same. Entry hazard still having a profound impact, U-turn and Volt Switch still being very prevalent, and so on. It seems like Game Freak and Nintendo finally decided it was time to give the competitive scene some love. The new strength and weaknesses that Fairy types brought to the table were generally implemented to balance the game, by making Fairy types super effective against Dragon, Dark, and Fighting types, including being immune to Dragon attacks. It's also weak to Poison attacks, giving the Poison type a little love it deserved. However, when I went to look on Smogon.com, aka the leading competitive battling website that Pokemon Showdown bases their guidelines and tiers off of, I was surprised to find that it still did not have anything regarding the Pokemon X and Y. Yes, the tiers are updated via their forums and the usage stats are released every month, but they still do not have tier databases updated after the game's release, which has been 8 months ago, which still reveals that this community still lacks the organization that it never really had, but that's for another video. Anyways, that's just my take on the metagame. Gen 6 looks really fun and I can't wait to explore this. Nevertheless, let's dive into this quick team preview. The way I'm going to approach the team preview is I'm going to explain my team very briefly, and then go over the team in detail during the battle video. You'll see, it'll be cool. Taking a look at my team, I have a defensive Deoxys for hazards and tanking, a standard specially defensive Rotom Wash, a hard-hitting Life-Orbed Weavile, an apparently very standard AE Slash, a Mega Garchomp, and a Scarf Thunder's Tea. Taking a look at my opponent's team, I see a lot of good old familiar faces. Caesar, Jolteon, good to see you friends, how've you been? I've been alright. I assume you guys are still the same hard-hitting, standard movesets that you were in 5th gen. You too, Gliscor, I still remember you. What's that you say, Caesar? You have a Mega Evolution now. That's great news. I'll have to watch out for that one. But can you introduce me to your friend Greninja over there? I have no idea what he does, and no idea what he can do. Real talk though, this guy has a lot of big threats. I'm going to need safe switches into my Weavile in order to take down his big walls, mainly Gliscor. My team lacks a lot of power, unlike his. I'm not too concerned with Jolteon or Caesar because I have a Rotom Wash and Deoxys defense to stop them in their tracks, but I'm slightly concerned about Salamence and Greninja. Anyways, let's finally start the battle. So he's going to lead off with his Jolteon, and I'm going to lead off with my Rotom Wash. Now this is the specially defensive kind, and I like to use it as a Choice Scarf bluff, however Jolteon was sent in first, so he should know that he is faster than me. So I do go for the Volt Switch as he goes for his, and I do gain the Switch initiative, so I get to decide who I want to bring in against the Caesar. I go for the Hidden Power Ice here, I believe. It's either Ice or Fire, I forget, but I was thinking he might bring in his Gliscor here, predicting my Volt Switch, or Thunderbolt. So I go into my Rotom Wash, and he does go for his own Hidden Power. I assume that's Hidden Power Ice since I resisted it. And this Rotom Wash can take a lot of hits because it's the standard specially defensive kind with Will-O-Wisp and Pain Split. So he does predict my Volt Switch nicely here and gains the Switch initiative here, but I am not Choice, so I do go for the Hydro Pump. However, he predicts that and goes for a Protect. And then I go for a Volt Switch here, and he makes a nice prediction, bringing in his Jolteon, and now his Jolteon is nearly at full health. I do predict that he will stay in and go for the Volt Switch, so I do just stay in just to see who he wants to bring in, and I do go for the Will-O-Wisp. I had a feeling he would bring in his Caesar or his Salamence, and I knew getting a burn on this would be really critical. So this Caesar is essentially useless, but as you will see, he does do some things, because he goes for the Sword Stance here, and even though he is burned, Sword Stance and a Caesar, probably max attack Adamant, will do a lot of damage. As you can see here, being burned does about 25% to my Deoxys defense. So I figured it would be a good time to set up rocks here, and he does go for the Bug Bite, and wow, that does so much. I know it's super effective, but he is burned and does a huge chunk. However, since I am faster than him, he does want to try to finish me off with a Bullet Punch, but it won't be enough. Theoretically, he could have taken me out with a Bug Bite right there, and I would have been dead, and it would have been a double down right there. So I do survive the Bullet Punch, and unfortunately this Dracula, I don't want to call him Dracula, but he's a Gliscor, does go for a Taunt. He is faster. Gliscor does have decent speed, but this reveals that he does not have another attacking move. So the only attacking move he has is Earthquake, and the only thing he can do to my Rotom is Toxic Stall me. So he does land the poison on me, and that is slightly annoying, and you'll see in this small stall portion of the battle that he gets a remarkable large amount of protects off of me. And also protects right when I go for a Hydro Pump here, and I do make a few mistakes trying to deal with this Gliscor. He's a really good Pokemon for Toxic Stalling, especially because he has his own Poison Heal ability. As you can see there, I completely overpredicted, thinking that he would switch out, predicting my Hydro Pump, and I would go for the Volt Switch, gaining the Switch initiative, but he just fails Protect. Like, ugh, he gets so lucky. Like, this thing could probably be dead by now. So, he gets a Protect right as I go for Pain Split, with me being 1% and him being 100%. That would have been huge. But now I can bring in my Weavile for those young, safe switches. And he does switch out into his Infernape, and I wasn't really too concerned with Infernape. I knock him with a knockoff right here, get rid of his Life Orb, so he's probably one of those mixed special with Mach Punch, like kind of one of those mixed Infernape. So he goes for the Earthquake here, gets a crit, doesn't really matter too much. And, well, my Deoxys can just take it for days, so I want to recover here just to make sure I have another turn or two, and he's really not doing too much, and I know I can finish him off with a Seismic Toss right here. However, he switches out into his Gliscor, and this thing, my god, it gives me so many problems this battle. So theoretically, I could just kind of stall him out, but I don't really want to have Deoxys Toxic just yet. So I go into my Aegislash, and he goes for the Taunt instead, which is a fairly good play on his part, because I do have Sword Stance and the King's Shield. So I'm predicting an Earthquake here. I'm going to go into my Thunder's Therian, and here I just... I just have nightmares about this play. Or wait, no, this isn't it. So I go for the U-turn here, kind of predicting his switch out. But it doesn't take him out, which is kind of surprising to me. I would think it'd do just enough, but I guess I am max special attack. So thankfully, Aegislash can finish him off with a Shadow Sneak. That's what he does. Shadow Sneak, Sacred Sword, Shadow Sneak. There we go. Anyways. I do go for the King's Shield here. My other move is Sword Stance, and I just kind of wanted to scout to see what he does. He's not really in the place to overpredict yet. He goes for the Taunt here, and I stay in just to do damage. I figure he'd be predicting my switch into Deoxys to preparing for the Earthquake, so good prediction on his part. I do go into my Deoxys this time, and it doesn't really do that much. However, I can't really do anything to him besides predicting his Taunt, so I am trying to bait out the Taunt to make a really risky prediction right there, because if he would have gone with Earthquake, my Weavile would have been weakened significantly. So now he's got a Fought or something, and I thought he would bring in his Greninja, but I guess he just played it safe. I guess Jolteon can't really do much to my team anymore, so he goes into his Greninja, and I don't know what this thing does. I have no idea, but he goes for the Hidden Powered Fire right there. I guess predicting that I would stay in or thinking I would be able to outspeed him. And I probably could outspeed him, but his ability is really good. Protean? I'm not sure. It looks like protein. It really takes out a lot of things. And here I overpredict so badly. I thought he would bring in his Gliscor, but I guess he wasn't thinking this thing is Scarfed. I guess he thought this thing was Specs and he could outspeed me. So he just takes me out there. I was thinking he would switch right into his Gliscor, and I've been able to knock it really nicely with a Grass Knot, but I need a different move than Grass Knot on this Thundurus. So anyways, I take him out with my Aegislash. I do lose my Scarfer, which is really risky. However, since I am max attack on this, or at least have a lot of attack EVs on this Aegislash, I'm able to bring down his Salamence to nice and low HP, and I bring in my Garchomp here. Mega Garchomp! That thing looks like Kha'Zix when it Mega Evolves. But anyways, I hit it with a crit that really didn't matter since I'm max attack adamants, and actually I may be Jolly. Yeah, I'm the speed nature. So I do end up hitting this Gliscor with really heavy damage with Garchomp. Does some nice damage, however, he does use his Protect, and I do get the Confusion along with Poison Stall. So, knowing me, you know how it is whenever your Pokemon is confused. He always hits himself in confusion. So I do not have many turns left. So after this Protect, I actually do hit the Outrage, but Poison is really bringing me down quickly. So he's able to Protect again, and I just kill myself off with Confusion and the Toxic damage. So now I switch into my Weavile, and Weavile does not fuck around. An Ice Shard would have finished him off, but I went for the Ice Punch anyways, just not to risk not getting in enough damage. So anyways, that will be the game. So nice way to start off my battling videos. Get the win against this guy. This is actually probably my 5th ever battle coming back into the competitive scene, and this team I literally threw together. So it was nice having that. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed, please subscribe and leave a like rating. Don't forget to like my Facebook page if you like League and Pokemon. I do play a lot of those games, so hopefully you'll see plenty of content on my channel. Now stay tuned for my next video coming out later this week. It will deal with the most famous team to ever release, and that is called Glacial Cataclysm. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you all later. Peace.